Hi, I'm Connie, and the name of my channel is Cooking with Connie and More. And today we are going to make hearty breakfast cups. And I think you're going to enjoy this. They're hearty enough to have for lunch or supper, but they're so wonderful to have for breakfast. So we're going to start out. First of all, I want to show you I have already broken a dozen eggs into this bowl. And I'm going to be using some of my Thrive Life foods. I do sell Thrive Life, and I'll put my website in the description at the bottom of this. But I want to show you how we use some of these foods in this wonderful dish, these breakfast cups. This is sausage crumbles. And I'm going to put some of these sausage crumbles into a bowl. This is a 1/4 measure, and I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup here. And then I'm going to add water to hydrate or refresh the sausage crumbles. And you can see the ingredients in this can are cooked sausage or cooked pork. They're already cooked, so we don't have to fry it and crumble it up. I've done that many times for sausage and egg casseroles and for other things. But the ingredients in this can are pork, salt, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of spices. No GMOs or anything like that. So this is sausage crumbles, and I'm going to refresh this by adding in some hot water. I'm going to just pour that over. I'm going to put this out here where you can see it. Pour that over the sausage crumbles, and I'm adding a little extra. The directions do tell you exactly how much water to add, but it says to add, for this amount of sausage crumbles, you would add in about a 1/2 cup of water. Now I put more than that in there because I want a little more water in my dish that I'm making, because I'm going to use other freeze-dried ingredients that can use a little bit more moisture for hydration. So we're going to let that sit. The directions say to let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'll stir it around and let it sit just a little bit longer. So now I'm going to begin to mix these other ingredients. I'm going to break up all these yolks and start whisking that around to get that all broken up and stirred up. That was a dozen eggs. And I will put the recipe in the description below this video. So there we go. Next, I'm going to add some of another Thrive Life ingredient. These are the green chili peppers. Now, they're not very hot. They're really pretty mild. I can't take a lot of hot spice. My husband can, but not me. And this adds a little bit of nutrition and a little bit of that distinctive flavor. I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup in here. Next, I'm going to add in red bell peppers. This is wonderful. You don't have to wash and cut up the bell peppers and get out all the seeds and all that kind of stuff. And do notice in this can of bell peppers, it says here, the ingredient list is red bell peppers. It doesn't have other ingredients. There are no preservatives. Preservatives are not necessary, because with Thrive Life freeze-dried foods, they pull out all the oxygen and they pull out all of the moisture. So these foods actually have a shelf life of 25 years. That's really terrific. Now, once you open the can, the shelf life is 1 year. And when I open a can of Thrive Life Foods, I always mark on here when I've opened it. I opened this can in 6/22, so that's June of last year. And I do need to use this within a year. And I don't have a whole lot left in there. I'll probably use it up in the next couple of weeks or so, depending on what I cook. So here are the red bell peppers, and I'm going to put about a 1/4 teaspoon of that in my mixture. Next, I'm going to add in some spinach. This is one of my favorite Thrive Life foods. Notice again the ingredients. Now, I've written on the can when I got this, which is 9/22. Now, I will write on the top of the can when I first opened this. Let me show you. Right here for my sausage, I opened it just a couple of weeks ago in January of 2023. So I purchased it in January of 2023, so it came that month and this month, and I opened it this month. Now, for my chopped spinach, notice the ingredients in here. Spinach. It is non-GMO. It is very healthy. These foods, Thrive Life Foods, are all freeze dried quickly, really fast, with an amazing process. I have a little moisture packet in here that I can discard. It just happens to still be in here. Moisture absorbing package, just to be sure. Now, I really like the health benefits of spinach. I'm going to put 2 of these 1/4 cups measurements in, which gives me a 1/2 cup of spinach. Now, you may have noticed that I have 2 different sizes of cans here. This is called the pantry can. This is called the family can. This family can is about the size of a paint can. And then, of course, the pantry can fits nicer in your pantry. But for things that I use quite a bit of, I do get the larger can. So, there's the spinach, the bell peppers, the green chilies. Now I'm going to put in some mushrooms. This can of mushrooms was opened in November of last year. I'll easily use this up within 1 year. And if it's a food that you don't use up as fast, you should get it in the smaller can. Here are the wonderful mushrooms. And the ingredients in here: mushrooms. No GMO, no kind of preservatives or anything like that. I'm going to get here a heaping spoonful of mushrooms. Now, I'm going to stir this around, let these ingredients be hydrating. Now, with this particular dish, the breakfast bars, you can put in here whatever kinds of vegetables you want. You may be noticing that this is going to be very healthy. Now, to that, I'm going to add, you can add between a 1/2 cup and a full cup of grated cheese, whatever kind of grated cheese you like. This happens to be mild cheddar. One of my favorites is sharp in this kind of a dish, but this is what I have. And we do have Thrive Life grated cheese. I'm using some that I had in the refrigerator because it's been in there crying out to be used. So I'm going to use this. This is a little over 1/2 cup of mild cheddar cheese. Let's stir that around. Now, our sausage has been sitting there soaking in all that nice warm water. Like I said, this is more water than what it really must have. And I'm going to go ahead. It hasn't been the full amount of time, but I'm going to go ahead and add this because it will continue to absorb that moisture as it bakes and as we finish preparing here. So there's the sausage. So what do we have here? We have eggs, sausage, mushrooms, green chilies, chopped spinach. Oh, you know what I hadn't done yet? I haven't done my chopped onions. How could I forget that? And actually, we're at the bottom of the barrel here. I'm just going to use all that's left. You can use as much onion as you want. You can use anywhere from a half an onion to a whole onion. Of course, depending on the size of the onion, there is probably a little over a quarter of a cup of onion in here, and I'm just going to use it all. And when you use Thrive Life, notice there's a little bit of powder left in there. Oh boy, that's just onion powder. And it's going to go right in here with the rest of these ingredients. And what is in this can? Chopped onion. No GMO, no preservatives, just healthy onion. And I'm going to stir this around, and it's absorbing the moisture and will continue to absorb the moisture, and will continue to do so as it bakes. Isn't that looking good? Now, I'm going to get my muffin pan here. These are medium size muffin cups here. Find a good place to put these things. I have here avocado. I have not forgotten about it. That's going to go on top. So I am now going to spoon in, get my ladle, and I'm going to ladle in these vegetables, and the sausage like to kind of float to the top, so I need to keep stirring it as I go. So I'm going to ladle in. Don't want to get too much because we don't want it to overflow. Don't want it to overthrow either. That's just a little bit too much. I think I'm going to have to get a little bit out of a couple of those. My husband and I really love these. And when I have shared these with other family members, they have really liked them as well. So these will be individual servings. Now typically, it depends on your eggs. I used large eggs. Large eggs vary in size sometimes. Yeah, I've gotten too much in a couple of these cups. Not enough in that one. Now, what I have here is too much mixture for these cups. If you have a pan that has the largest muffin cup size, this is in between. I have what used to be the normal size of muffin cups, which is smaller than these, and these are bigger. And then there are larger ones. So if you have a pan with larger muffin sizes in it, see, I'm going to pour this. I have already sprayed cooking spray in this pan because I knew that it was going to be more than what I could use in my muffin cups. And here where I have a little too much. I'm going to dip that out because I don't want them to overflow in my oven. Have you ever had baked on egg in your oven? Ugh. That's a pain. I can actually use a little bit more there. Now, and I'm going to clean off a little of this mess. I have a damp dishcloth here. Okay, now I have here my avocado that I already have cut up. I have diced it, and I'm going to just put a few pieces on the top of each one of these. Yum! These hearty breakfast cups are so nutritious, very high in protein and nutrient dense. Now, if you don't care for avocado, you do not need to use the avocado. If you don't like any of these ingredients that I've put in here, you don't need to use any of the ingredients that are in here. Broccoli would be good in here. We do have Thrive Life broccoli. Asparagus would be good in here. We have Thrive Life asparagus. Now, all of this is ready to go into the oven. And I'm going to pause this just for a few minutes. Okay, it's time to get these out of the oven. I meant to turn that off before I started you up again there. And things are looking good here. So pretty. Look at that. Nice and puffy and fluffy. Now as they cool, they will kind of shrink down a little bit, but they sure are pretty when they first come out, fluffy and nice. And the leftover mixture that I have in my little baking pan, let's take it out now too. I did leave it. I put all this into a preheated oven, preheated at 350 degrees. Now I'm going to take out the other one, and let's see how that looks. Nice and puffy. All those pretty colorful vegetables. So there you go. Hearty breakfast cups. I made some of these recently, and my husband enjoyed taking a couple of them for his lunches a couple of days, and we ate them some for breakfast. This is a small baking dish. That's just about one meal for him. Maybe a little extra. I really appreciate you tuning in today, and I hope you'll try this recipe. I will put it in, I'll write out the recipe in the description under this video, and if you'd like to check out Thrive Life freeze-dried foods, please just click on the website link that I will have in the description. And thank you for watching, and God bless you.